Yes, you can start.
Yes. Okay, namaste everyone. I'm Dr. Manisha Narayankar. Today I'm going to speak on a very important and empowering topic, that is childbirth types and yoga. Understanding birthing options from modern and yogic perspective. So before I begin, I offer my gratitude to our acharyas, our teacher Dr. Nutan ma'am, and all the AYJ faculty academy, my classmates and my family for being part of this transformative journey. So in this brief session, we are going to cover what is childbirth, types of the childbirth, the baby's and mother's perspective, and why understanding the birth options even matter. What are the types of childbirth, and what are the yogic practices ensuring the healthy childbirth? So let's see what is childbirth. It is a process of spontaneous expulsion of a mature baby after natural labor pain on expected time from vagina. It involves cervix dilation and involuntary rhythmic contraction of the uterus. According to Ayurveda, it is called prasava. The Sanskrit word prasava means childbirth, which is derived from Shuyan Prani Prasavi, that refers to the labor, parturition, or childbirth. The other terms used in Ayurveda for childbirth are Garbhamochan, Garbhamukti, and Garbhatyagam. So basically, the childbirth has three stages. First is labor, second is delivery of the baby, and third is the placental delivery. These are the stages of the childbirth. Stage 1 represents the onset of the labor, water break, and mucus plug release. Second, the descent of baby happens through the cervix and the vagina, and delivery of the baby happens. In the stage 3, the placental expulsion happens. So, and stage 4, the uterine evolution. Uterus goes back to its place, not fully but partially. So let's understand what is true labor and the false labor. True labor, as we all know, that these are the recurrent, regular, and intensified contraction throughout the time. There is regular interval of the timing, and these true labor contractions basically starts from your lower back and it moves to the front. And obvious cervix dilatation happens in the true labor, and obviously the water break and mucus plug are the definite signs of the true labor. In false labor, it is also known as Braxton Hicks contraction. These are irregular, and they start in only the front region of the abdomen. There is no cervical dilatation. So these are some factors which are encountered during the childbirth from baby's perspective, that is going to determine the route of the delivery of the baby. So first is the abnormal presentation, or in Ayurveda it is called Mudha Garbha. If baby is in the breech position, oblique lie, transverse lie, that is going to decide the baby's route of the delivery. Then second is meconium aspiration. Meconium is called the first stool of the baby. If baby aspires that through the amniotic fluid, then it is a kind of emergency. Then third is the oxygen deprivation, asphyxia. If the cord get compressed, then there is the less oxygen supply to the baby, and that may lead to the brain retardation. So it is also emergency C-section. Then fourth is birth weight. If baby is obese or IUGR, intrauterine growth restriction is there, then the route of the delivery will be different. That will be more medically intervene route. And third is fifth is the premature birth. If baby delivers before the 37th week of the pregnancy, and that is called premature or preterm birth. And sixth is infection. If any infections is there, then the route of the delivery will be different. And last is umbilical cord prolapse. So that is not going to, the vaginal delivery will be risky in that case also. The factors encountered during childbirth from mother's perspective: if labor pain is too much, then if she is apprehensive or first time mother, then the c-section may plan. And then second is the premature labor. If labor starts before the 37th week, then that in that case also the vaginal delivery is risky. Third is obstructed labor. If there is term known as a CPD, cephalopelvic disproportion. So in that the cephalon means baby's head and the pelvic diameter of the mother, they both are disproportionate, then that is called obstructed labor. The vaginal delivery is risky in that case also. If the mother is having gestational diabetes, thyroid, or any kind of infection like HIV infection or a herpes infection, in that case vaginal route is not possible. And if any kind of tears, पेरिनियल टीयर और वजाइनल टीयर के चांसेस ज़्यादा है तो उसमें भी वजाइनल रूट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल. एंड लास्ट इज़ द यूटेराइन रप्चर. Why understanding birth option even matter? Every birth is unique, but what if your mind and body were better prepared for any path it takes? So prenatal yoga helps you to prepare for overall birth experience, not just for a specific type of the birth. So it reduces the fear and anxiety if she knows the birthing options in beforehand, and any realistic expectation is established, then especially if medical intervention has to be there, then she will be prepared beforehand. It also reduces the maternal stress and lowers the baby's cortisol, improving the long-term health of the baby. So what are the types of the childbirth? Childbirth के types हम लोग देखेंगे. Vaginal birth, assisted vaginal birth, C-section and the water birth we have studied, but these two are different, while different options I have came across during the research. The scheduled induction and the vaginal birth after C-section. So first is vaginal birth. So it is very common type of the delivery. In vaginal birth, the baby is born through the birth canal, and labor can be straightforward, uncomplicated process for the mother's body, and it may require medical assistance at some point. So natural childbirth is vaginal delivery without medication. So benefits of the vaginal delivery is the shorter hospital stay, lower infection, quick recovery, and drawback can be vaginal birth can be painful at some time. This is assisted vaginal birth. First is amniotomy. So assisted, in the first we'll see breaking of the water is happen, and artificial rupture of the amniotic fluid, amniotic membrane that contains the amniotic fluid surrounding the baby. So labor is induced in that amniotomy through the use of the amni hook. Second is episiotomy. Episiotomy is done. Episiotomy is a surgical incision made in the perineum region, the area of the skin between vagina and the anus. And third is the vacuum extraction. It is also known as a ventouse. So in the vacuum extraction, it is only recommended under the certain condition where the cervix is fully dilated and a baby is descended the head first, and same with the forceps delivery also. Third is the C-section. C-section is the option of the delivery of the baby through the surgical incision in the mother's abdomen or uterus. Generally, the transverse cut is given. It is also known as a bikini cut, and sometimes C-section is scheduled in advance, and it is also done in the done to an unforeseen complications. So benefits of the C-section is that vaginal delivery is not possible, then C-section is good option for the safe delivery of the baby, and the scheduled C-section allows you to plan and prepare without feeling rushed. And full recovery, the drawbacks will be the full recovery will take about 8 weeks, and recovery can be painful and challenging. Then next is the water birth. Mothers labors in a tub of a similar to the hot tub. So water birth is not for everyone. Mothers with low risk can opt for this, and there are some indications that prevent you from having the water birth. First is fever, second is hypertension, third is active infection, and those mothers having basal metabolic index over 40, and baby passing meconium during the labor, and prolonged pushing stage, and so many. So this is all about the water birth. And next is the scheduled induction. A baby might need extra motivation to be born if the past due date. So the ideal candidate for this scheduled induction is 39th week अगर हो जाता है mothers का, then the pitocin injections is given through the intravenous route, and labor is induced in that case. These are some pros and the cons. नेक्स्ट इज वजाइनल बर्थ आफ्टर द सी सेक्शन, वी बैक भी बोलते हैं इसको. द आइडियल केस फॉर दिस वी बैक इज हु हैव अंडरगोन ओनली वन प्रायर सी सेक्शन, जिनका सिर्फ एक ही बार सी सेक्शन हुआ है वही कर सकते हैं. इवन द करेंटली एक्सपीरियंसिंग हेल्दी ऑन एंड प्रॉब्लम फ्री प्रेगनेंसी. The pros are fewer complications, a shorter recovery, and cons will be the previous C-section reason persist, vaginal delivery not possible, and the final decision will be taken by your gynecologist. This is the Apgar score. When baby is born, the Apgar baby is checked for the Apgar score: appearance, pulse, grimace, activity, and the respiration. If the score is more than 7, baby is healthy. If the score is less than 7, the baby may need monitoring or an ICU stay. These are four important P factors to be kept in mind during the childbirth from the yogic lens. First is preparedness, second is pathway, the third is presence, and fourth is perception. So, if a mother is prepared well to elevate the cramps and pain, the breathing exercise and walking is advisable. And second is pathway, the proper dilatation of the cervix and vagina should happen during the childbirth. Third is presence, the fetus should descend in vertex position. And fourth is perception, mother should be mindful about the deep breathing techniques and all those relaxing techniques. What are the yogic practices ensuring the healthy childbirth? You wouldn't run a marathon without training for it. So childbirth should be the same way. Pregnancy and labor and delivery is just as taxing or more on the body. So Dr. Nuta ma'am have given us the 3S module. First trimester के लिए yoga for stability, second के लिए yoga for strength, and third trimester yoga for space. So what not to do is more important than what to do. So first is avoid intense abdominal twist. Refrain from applying excessive pressure on the abdomen and the pelvic area. Avoid deep back bends, forward bends. Do not engage in the inversions and maintain a light practice at all the times. These are some asanas can be practiced during the labor time. First is Baddha Konasana, Malasana, Marjari Asana, Ditili Asana. Hip opening exercises are advisable, and duck walk. So these are some photos. Choosing the right position during the labor can help you feel more in control, and it eases the pain. So this is pranayam and breath work. Benefit of pranayam, we all know that it balances the energy, calms the nervous system, reduces the stress, and promotes the deep relaxation, reduces the pain perception. First is Anulom Vilom can be done throughout the pregnancy. Brahmari and Ujjayi breath also helps to calms the nervous system. And Lamaze breathing technique, the typical quick shallow 2 to 3 breaths, inhales, and the long exhale in the form of he, and who. So these are some guided meditation technique, relaxation technique, yoga nidra, positive affirmation, visualization, practice of pratyahara, garbha samvad, om chanting, mantra chanting, some mudras are going to help her definitely. And that's a takeaway from my slide. The prenatal yoga and garbha sanskar helps you prepare not just for a type of a birth, but for the reality of the birth. Thank you so much for the listening.
Very good.